Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to talk about all of Disney animation. Now, there's a lot of stuff that happened. There's a lot of announcements, but a lot of vague things, so I'm really not going to get too much into it. Really, this video is going to be about one thing and one thing only, which is Pixar announcing that they're doing a Buzz Lightyear movie called Lightyear. And you might be perplexed. You might be like, well, isn't that just Toy Story? You might be like, oh, the toy. No. They're doing the true story of Buzz Lightyear. Now, if you are a kid who grew up at the time I did, you would know that a long time ago, there was a Buzz Lightyear animated series. It's an animated series, and it was treated as if, what if all the events in Buzz Lightyear, all the stuff, what if that was real? And just to kind of give you kind of an indicator of how the animated series was, it was essentially, for lack of a better phrase, it was the Green Lanterns, because that's what Star Command was. Star Command was Hala, and all the Buzz Lightyear, Star Command, all the Rangers were Green Lanterns. They all had the same suit. They all were different aliens. They were all different kind of beings, and they all worked for this organization to make peace throughout all the galaxy. And that's what they were. And essentially, from the description that they gave, this is going to be John Carter of Mars meets Green Lantern. In terms of the fact that apparently Buzz Lightyear, in the real world of Toy Story, there's a real guy named Buzz Lightyear who really is this guy who fought who really went on to become a member of Star Command and a protector of the galaxy. Like, that's so crazy. Voiced by Chris Evans. They're getting Chris Evans to come on and play it, which I was just like, this is gonna be crazy, man. This is way too meta. I was like, man, this is like an in-joke, man. It's like, wait a minute, you're doing a story on the actual guy who inspired the Buzz Lightyear toy. I am curious. I am fascinated by this project. I am fascinated by what they really are doing. But like I said, from the description they gave, it sounds like it's going to be John Carter meets the Green Lanterns. Which means that, because they said that he was an astronaut who flew in outer space, and somehow, when he flew in outer space, somehow, some way, he becomes a member of this this intergalactic crime-fighting organization known as Star Command. So essentially, he flies out of space for completely different reasons and gets caught up in some crazy shit. He's just a man from Earth who gets caught up in some crazy shit, and becomes the legendary Buzz Lightyear. Like, I'm telling you, man, this is gonna be crazy, man. It's like, I'm like, what? They announced a whole bunch of other things too, like a whole bunch of things. Like, they're doing a lot of Disney Plus shows, like actual shows. They're doing a Baymax series. They're doing a Zootopia series. They're doing a lot of stuff. They're doing old school Disney stuff. You know what I mean? There was a shit ton of Disney shows. Emperor's New Groove had a show. Freaking Hercules had a show. Lilo and Stitch had a pretty good show. I stayed by that show when I was a kid. But yeah, like, there's a whole bunch of, like, they're kind of doing the traditional Disney stuff of, like, trying to expand on things. Hopefully with higher budgets. Hopefully it's not as cheap, because I always hated because one of the things that always bothered me about some of those old shows, was like, you knew they didn't have the real actors. You knew that, like, the quality of animation wasn't quite the same. So it kind of was always, so, like, as much as I was having fun, it was still a disconnect. It still isn't movie quality budget. So hopefully, they can keep that the same. I am shocked. One of the things that I am shocked about that didn't get mentioned, the first project they ever announced was the Monsters at Work, which is a spinoff to Monsters Inc. And they talked about that, and I was like, they said that when they talked about the people they got on, I was like, oh, cool. They didn't even mention it, man. I wonder what's up with that project. Or maybe I missed it. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but they didn't. I don't think they mentioned Monsters at Work, which is, like I said, which is a project they announced at the beginning before Disney Plus even came online. So you figure that gotta be pretty done by now. Granted, animation takes a very long time to do. I was watching a documentary on fucking Frozen. I know Frozen. And they said that it took them almost 6 years to do this. They were working on Frozen 2 for 6 years. That just tells you how long animation takes, man. Like, it just takes a long time. Like, and it's crazy to me. I'm just like, man, animation. So they probably need more time to work it out. Well, at least Pixar's level of animation. Pixar's on another level. Well, it's funny. Disney owns the 2 best animation studios in Hollywood right now, which is crazy. They own both of them. They have their own animation studios that produce things like Moana and Frozen, and then they got Pixar that produces things like Oscar winners. So it's just like, I think Zootopia Pixar? I think Zootopia isn't Pixar. I think Zootopia is Disney. I think. I could be wrong. It might be Pixar. The core, they kind of go together. Like I just see the Disney because it's called Disney's Pixar, and then the Disney animated movie is just called Disney. So it is what it is. There's a lot of stuff though that I'm curious about that Buzz Lightyear movie. There's another movie that Disney's working on with Lin-Manuel Miranda. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Hold on, maybe I can look it up right now. It's a weird name. It sound like not weird sounding. It was just different. Ignacio? I can't say it right. Inato. It's I think it's supposed to take place in Cuba. So that's gonna be great. And which to be fair, the last time they were working with Lin-Manuel Miranda on a movie was Moana. So this is probably gonna be pretty freaking good too. Like Disney really is trying. I will say this: they really are trying because they got one that takes place in Cuba, and they have another Pixar, and the next Pixar movie takes place in Rio. So I think it takes place in Rio, or it might be Italy. Man, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking about another movie. I think it's like Italy, but they're really trying to go to places that haven't been seen and talk about things that haven't been seen. Like the fact that the next freaking Disney movie, the big Disney animated project takes place in Cuba is cool. We get that's a cool thing that you haven't seen. That's an aesthetic that you haven't seen before. So you get to see they really are trying their damnest to spread the wealth to every region, every state, every country they can get, which is great. That's what you should do. It's one of the things I loved about Coco. Man, I love Coco, man. That vibe of that movie was so That movie represented Latin America and Latins all over the world, and in Mexico, in whatever. They represented them so well. And like I said, I hope that they can do that here. But anyways, that's about all I could say about Disney and Pixar animation. I'm excited for what they got to show. If you've looked at my channel long enough, you know that how I feel about animation. I think that animation is limitless. I think that animation is one of my favorite fields of entertainment, because I think that you're only limited because I think in animation you're only limited by your imagination and creativity. I mean, not to say that live action you can't do whatever you want to do, but animation you really are only limited by your creativity and imagination, because you can do whatever you want almost. You can almost do whatever you want. So that is my thoughts on Disney animation and Pixar animation. A lot of big things. Buzz Lightyear. I am so curious about that. Got Chris Evans coming on board to voice him. This is going to be nuts. Buzz Lightyear might take the whole tab. This video is going to be about more than Buzz Lightyear, but man, I'm curious about that. I'm just like, what the hell is that even going to look like? Like, is in the end he's going to get back and he's going to be like, I'm Buzz Lightyear, and they're going to start making toys about him, and then they're going to show Andy? I don't know. Thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like, subscribe. See you in the next one.